I stood in my parents' lavish living room, surrounded by the evidence of their success: crystal chandeliers, antique furniture, oil paintings that cost more than most cars. The setting for what they'd promised would be a family discussion about my future. I should have known better. Investment firm? My mother's laugh was sharp enough to crack the Waterford crystal she collected. That's what you're calling your little hobby now? I'm Olivia Anderson, though after tonight, I wasn't sure I'd still be allowed to use the family name. Not that it mattered. Anderson Capital Management, my little hobby, was about to own everything they held dear. It's not a hobby, Mom, I said quietly. We've secured over $50 million in investments this quarter alone. My father looked up from his phone, his signature look of disappointment already in place. Playing with other people's money isn't a real career, Olivia. The Anderson name stands for something in this city. Yes, the precious Anderson name. 3 generations of old money, social connections, and carefully cultivated prestige. All of which I was apparently tarnishing by starting my own company instead of joining the family law firm. Morgan Stanley has offered to partner with us on several major deals, I continued, trying to make them understand. Our returns are beating market averages by. Enough. My mother stood up, her designer dress rustling with disapproval. We didn't call this meeting to hear about your pretend business. We called it because you're embarrassing the family. My brother James smirked from his position by the fireplace. Fresh from making partner at Anderson & Associates, he was everything I wasn't: obedient, traditional, willing to follow our parents' carefully planned path. The Whitman's charity gala is next week, my mother continued. Everyone who's anyone will be there. What am I supposed to tell them when they ask what you're doing? Tell them I'm running a successful investment firm. A real job, my father interjected. Like your brother. He's made partner at 29. Following in my footsteps, upholding the family tradition. James's smirk widened. He'd been lording his success over me since the day I'd walked away from my junior associate position at Anderson & Associates. What none of them knew was that my little hobby had quietly been buying up their debts for the past year. The position at the firm is still open, my father added. Senior associate track. You could still salvage your reputation. I looked around the room at their faces. My mother's careful disappointment, my father's stern disapproval, James's smug superiority. None of them had any idea that Anderson Capital Management now owned the mortgage on this very house. I'm not coming back to the firm, I said firmly. I'm building something of my own. Building something? My mother's voice rose. You're throwing away generations of family legacy. The Andersons are lawyers, not investment hustlers. My company is completely legitimate. Your company? James laughed. You mean that rented office downtown where you play businesswoman? Face it, Liv, you're not cut out for the Anderson name. I thought about my real office. The entire top floor of the city's most prestigious business tower. The rented space they mocked was just a front. A way to keep them underestimating me while I methodically acquired every piece of their financial lives. Maybe I'm not, I agreed softly. Maybe the Anderson name needs to stand for something new. Don't you dare, my mother hissed. Don't you dare suggest that your little rebellion is somehow good for this family. My father stood up, his imposing height meant to intimidate. You have a choice to make, Olivia. Come back to the firm, accept your place in this family, or what, Dad? Or you don't deserve the Anderson name. The words echoed in the perfect acoustics of their perfect living room. My mother's hand flew to her pearl necklace, her signature gesture of distress. James straightened up, ready to watch the prodigal daughter's downfall. What they didn't realize was that I'd been preparing for this moment. Every dismissive comment, every condescending smile, every family dinner where they'd belittled my choices, it had all led to this. You're right, I said calmly. I don't deserve the Anderson name. I've earned something better. My mother's eyes narrowed. What are you talking about? I pulled out my phone, opened my banking app, and showed them my company's latest valuation. James actually choked on his scotch. That's impossible, he sputtered. Those numbers can't be real. Oh, they're very real, I smiled. And that's just the beginning. Would you like to know what else is real? The fact that Anderson Capital Management now owns this house's mortgage. And the firm's building lease. And most of your personal debt. The color drained from my father's face. You're lying, Check your mortgage documents. Look up the holding companies. I own it all, every loan, every credit line, every piece of leverage you thought made you powerful. My mother sank onto the antique sofa, her perfect posture finally cracking. Why? Why would you do this? Because you never saw me as anything but a disappointment. Because you were so convinced of your own superiority that you never bothered to look at what I was building. Because the Anderson name meant more to you than your own daughter's happiness. You can't just, we're your family. James protested. Family. I laughed softly. Was it family when you told the senior partners I wasn't cut out for law? When you spread rumors about my mental stability after I left the firm? When you tried to sabotage my first investment deals? He took a step back, guilt flashing across his face. Everything will be called in, I continued calmly. Every loan, every mortgage, every line of credit. You have 3 months to either pay in full or refinance. If you can find another bank willing to take the risk. You would destroy your own family? My father's voice shook. No, Dad. You did that the moment you decided the family name was more important than family love. I walked to the door, then turned back one last time. Oh, and Mom? About the Whitman's gala next week. Don't worry about explaining what I do. My company just bought the venue. The event has been cancelled. I left them there in their perfect living room, surrounded by the trappings of wealth they thought defined them. They had 3 months to realize just how much power they'd lost by underestimating me. My phone buzzed as I reached my car. A text from my CFO. All documents prepared for Phase 2. Are you sure about this? I looked back at the house where I'd grown up, where I'd never been quite good enough, quite proper enough, quite Anderson enough. Yes, I replied. Start the process tomorrow. Let's show them exactly what the Anderson name is worth when it's backed by real power. They thought I wasn't family material? Fine. I'd become something better. I'd become their banker, their landlord, their creditor. Every bill, every mortgage, every loan would come through my office. And unlike them, I wouldn't pretend it was about family. The first bills arrived exactly 1 week after our family meeting. I had them delivered to the Anderson and Associates offices during the partners' lunch. A perfect time for everyone to see the mighty Anderson family's paper empire beginning to crumble. Mr. Anderson? My assistant's voice came through the intercom. Your father is here. Again. I smiled, remembering how many times I'd been kept waiting in his office. Let him wait another 15 minutes. When I finally allowed him in, my father looked nothing like the imposing figure who'd threatened to take away my family name. His designer suit was wrinkled, his normally perfect hair disheveled. Olivia, he started, then stopped, taking in my office. The view of the city, the elegant furnishings, the wall of awards that Anderson Capital Management had accumulated while they thought I was playing businesswoman. Yes, Dad. I kept my voice professionally neutral. I assume this is about the notices you received. He pulled out a stack of papers, hands shaking slightly. This is impossible. These loans, the mortgages, they can't all be due. Actually, they can. Check clause 23B in each document. Change of ownership allows for immediate call on all outstanding debts. But the amount, we can't possibly. $47 million, I supplied. Plus accumulated interest. Due in full within 90 days. He collapsed into one of my visitor chairs. You'd destroy everything our family has built? For what revenge? Revenge? I raised an eyebrow. No, Dad. This is business. Just like it was business when you threatened to take away my family name. When you chose legacy over love. We can fight this, he said, but his voice lacked conviction. The other partners have their own problems, I interrupted smoothly. Did you think the firm's building was the only asset I acquired? Anderson Capital Management now owns controlling interest in most of your partners' debts too. As if on cue, my phone buzzed. A message from the firm's managing partner begging for a meeting. I let my father see the notification before dismissing it. Your brother, he tried. James is up for managing partner next year. This will ruin his career. Like he tried to ruin mine. Spreading rumors about my mental stability, sabotaging my client relationships. I leaned forward. Did you know about that, Dad? Did you approve of his tactics? His silence was answer enough. You have 3 options, I continued professionally. Pay the full amount within 90 days, declare bankruptcy, or work out new terms with me. Terms. I opened a folder on my desk. Anderson and Associates will be absorbed into my company's legal division. You'll retain a position, junior partner level. James goes back to associate. The Anderson name comes off the building. You can't. I can. I do. And I will. I stood up slowly. You taught me that family name means everything. Now you get to learn what it means to lose it. He left my office a broken man. But I wasn't done. Not even close. My mother was next. She arrived the following day, perfect makeup unable to hide her desperation. The country club called, she said without preamble. Our membership is being revoked. Our credit cards are frozen. Even my personal shopping accounts. All owned by Anderson Capital subsidiaries now, I confirmed. Amazing how much leverage you can acquire when people don't see you as a threat. The Whitman's Gala. Cancelled. Though I'm hosting my own event there next month. Don't worry about explaining my career to your friends anymore. They'll all be working for me soon enough. Tears threatened to ruin her expensive mascara. We're your family. No, Mom. You made it very clear that I wasn't family material. James tried a different approach. He cornered me outside my building, all his arrogance replaced by desperate charm. Come on, Liv, he cajoled. We can work something out. Brother to sister. I admit I was wrong about you. Wrong about me? I smiled coldly. Or wrong to sabotage me? Wrong to spread rumors? Wrong to try destroying my reputation because you couldn't stand the competition? I'm sorry. Sorry you did it or sorry you got caught? I stepped closer. Sorry you hurt me or sorry you're about to lose everything? He had no answer. The next 3 months were a masterclass in karmic justice. Anderson and Associates partners turned on each other as their debts came due. The prestigious office building that had borne the family name for 3 generations now displayed Anderson Capital Management in sleek modern letters. My father was demoted to junior partner, his corner office now occupied by one of my executives. James was back in the associate pool, learning humility 1 billable hour at a time. My mother's social circle evaporated as quickly as her credit lines. The final blow came at the very event that had started it all, the Whitman's Charity Gala, now rebranded as the Anderson Capital Investment Summit. I stood at the podium, addressing the city's financial elite. My parents sat in the back, no longer at their usual place of honor. James wasn't even invited. Anderson Capital Management is proud to announce our newest acquisition. I began, enjoying the way my mother flinched at each word. The Anderson Legal Group will be fully integrated into our corporate structure, marking the end of an era and the beginning of something better. The applause was thunderous. Old money and new success alike celebrating as I dismantled my family's empire and built something stronger on its foundation. Later that evening, as the event wound down, my father approached me one last time. You've won, he said quietly. Destroyed everything we built. Are you happy now? I looked around the room, at my successful company, my actual achievements, my earned power. I didn't destroy anything, Dad. I built something better. You just couldn't see past your own prejudices to recognize it. And the family name? Means exactly what it should: success based on merit, not inheritance. Innovation instead of tradition. Real power instead of social pretense. He turned to leave, then paused. Your mother. She'd like to have dinner sometime. Try to reconnect. I smiled, remembering all the family dinners where they'd belittled my choices. Have her call my office. We'll see if I can fit her into my schedule. The next morning, I arrived at my office to find a stack of bills on my desk. Mortgage payments, credit card statements, loan documents, all bearing the Anderson name. But now they came to my office, awaiting my approval, my signature, my power. My assistant entered with the morning reports. Your brother's asking for a meeting. And your mother's left 6 messages about her frozen accounts. Let them wait, I said, looking out over the city. My city now in many ways. They've got 90 days to learn what family really means. A text from my CFO, should we extend any of their payment deadlines? I thought about years of dismissal, of condescension, of being told I wasn't good enough to bear the family name. No, I replied. Let them learn what it means to lose everything. Just like they tried to take everything from me. They said I wasn't family material. Now their entire lives came through my office, 1 bill at a time. Every payment, every extension, every financial decision required my approval. They wanted me to earn the Anderson name? I did better than that. I owned it.